Last time on WildChild, we made our way from Mont Louis, got knocked down in the dark, made it into Rivière Renard in the dark, where we anchored for the night. We spent the whole next day there waiting out bad weather, and then the next morning after that, we left this bay to continue traveling out around Gaspé. With beautiful conditions, sunny skies, strong winds, we made our way out around Rocher-Percé and continued our way across both bays, made it all the way to Sainte-Thérèse de Gaspé. This is the video of our fabulous 60 miles of sailing that day.
Good morning. It's Sunday morning, 8:30. We just left the anchor maybe half an hour ago, getting out of Rivière Renard Harbor, where we threw the anchor, not last night, the previous night after.
Good morning, Bear. So it's, I think, maybe Sunday, September 9th. It's 8:30 in the morning. You're getting up and getting ready to go to school. We just left the anchorage where we were beautifully and safely protected for yesterday. 2 days ago is when we got knocked down. Yesterday, the winds stayed crazy gusty, like they would fall to 10 knots and then they'd gust up to 25 knots, and the wind was very spiky until yesterday afternoon, which means out here was very, very wavy. Today we're trying to get the 17-mile run so we can begin turning south, yay, and get to warmer waters, because it's like 10 degrees out. This morning we could see our breath in the cabin. I'm wearing 3 sweaters. We're bundled and it's getting cold, like it's mid-September in Canada. So we got to start turning south. Tell what's interesting is on the maps, the tides in the ocean are only like 5 feet. We've been used to dealing with 12 to 19 feet of tide in the St. Lawrence River. So going out to the ocean with 5 feet of tide, we're like, this is a piece of cake. I was all worried about, ooh, the big scary ocean tides. They're 5 feet. The tide in Quebec City was 19 feet, so 5 feet is nothing. Also the currents, yeah, there's current, but the currents in the St. Lawrence River are up to 6 knots for and against you, switching every 7 hours. The tides in the ocean, maybe 1 knot, maybe 2 knots. That's nothing. You can keep sailing through 2 knots of tide, or 2 knots of current. So we're finally going to turn south. The weather's not looking great. There's a hurricane is going to pound the crap out of Norfolk, Virginia, and Jacksonville, North Carolina, and unfortunately for those poor buggers, the hurricane's going to park on them for like 5 days. It's just going to kind of almost come to shore and just sit there for 5 days. That's what's driving the winds and weathers around us for the upcoming week. We have to be very careful when we jump and don't jump. Lucky for us, the sailing conditions that morning were beautiful. Sunshine and calm waters. Isn't this the life? Sailing in sunshine, blue skies, gentle seas, sailing wing on wing. Life is just perfect.
And basically our direction now, it's 143, 144 degrees, so that's east, southeast, but east, still more east. So maybe in the next 2 hours, 3 hours top, because of our speed, it's 11 knot of wind, and we are WildChild going 6.3 knots, so that's great speed. So in maybe 3 hours top, we're going to change to going south, so no more east direction, it will be more south now.
And after 3 weeks of traveling northeast, This was it. This is the turning point. This is when you finally begin to start pointing south.
So this is the point. It's in the Detroit, Detroit. And then we go more south. So those mountains are very high, it's beautiful. I'll show you when we're closer, but what a different scenery. And the speed is great, 11 over 6.5, so that's great.
There's the point. There's the end of the St. Lawrence River officially opening into the Great Wide North Atlantic, and that's the point where we turn south. We've been going northwest or northeast for weeks now, constantly getting colder and colder. That's the cliffs, that's the point, that's where we turn south, that's where we begin searching for the warmth. We're sailing along in this bay. We just turned south around the point behind us. I'm standing at the helm, and not 100 feet that way, the body of a whale comes up on the port side 100 feet off the boat. The body of the whale is bigger than our boat. It was gigantic and sort of a dark gray color, huge fin, like 4 or 5 foot fin, and a large portion of the body came out. I thought a submarine was surfacing. It was so big. Just nice and slow and gentle, 100 feet to the port side, and then moving behind us, surfaced a couple more times and off it went. That was unbelievable.
Just crossing a sailboat is going against the wind, so look at that. Dang, poor him. They're suffering, look at that. Dang. So we're beam reach. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The waves are between 4 or 5 feet, and they're getting bigger. The wind is at 20 knots, and just in front of us it's the Percy Rock, Rocher Percé in Gaspé. Big tourist attraction.
And so, with a single reef in the main and about 70% of the jenny out, we just sailed on. And for 2 hours we just sail along the bay as the rock slowly gets closer, marking the miles. This really isn't a bad way to spend an afternoon, huh? So after a long day of sailing in nearly perfect conditions, we needed a place to tuck in for the night, and the nearest possible place was Sainte-Thérèse de Gaspé. It was a small little protected fishing port, but it was good enough. The wind was dying and the sun was setting, so we had to motor the last 5 miles to get to the safety of the fishing village. With shoreline that looks like this, there was really no safe place to anchor. Sunday, September 9th, and this is where we landed for the night. It's a little fishing village. The fishing villages are the best. The fishermen are really nice, super helpful, always friendly, and usually don't bug you for marina fees or money. You just gotta be careful that you're not parked in their spot. It was a long day, but it was a really great day of sailing.